Hello and welcome for this cast 2v2 game on chemical training between blue team playing as 3rd US Armored and 3rd US Armored, and they're up against red team playing as ED.Monk and Marisa Fan. I know you guys you keep asking for 2v2 games, so here's another 2v2 game. Looking at the deployments here, well, first let's talk about the map. So chemical training got a basically they took some trees out, so they just cut some holes in the trees. The big change was that they opened up this side of the map, but there's no zone here, and because because the spawns are here and here, it takes you ages to get over here. So it's very rare to see somebody go from here to here. I'm actually yet to see it. But in a 2v2, maybe. And this became a bit imbalanced this side because this side doesn't really get many places to hide the CV anymore because they took all the trees that were here out, and there's like some more trees here, I believe. Actually, no, there are definitely some trees here. Whereas this side still gets these trees, this building, behind these things, behind this building, behind all this. So the red side is a bit easier in Charlie, essentially. But if blue get to Delta, if they blue get to here, they can basically shut down all of Delta's reinforcements. Whereas if red get to here, well, I suppose they can do something similar. But there are these roads back here which are much easier to get people down than unloading them here and passing them through the forest. So looking at the deployments, we've got a lot of CVs here for blue team. Engineers Dragon going to there. Chaparral for the back, and then one CV for Alpha, one CV for Bravo, and a second CV for Bravo. Okay, I was assuming one would go to Charlie, but I guess this thing is going to go to Charlie. It is a tracked CV, so it will be quite slow there. It is a tracked CV, as you can see. And then we've got a heli rush consisting of 3, 6, 8 aircraft troopers and an Apache and a recon Kiowa. So that's pretty funny. So that's all of Infinity's deployment, I guess. Well, I don't know. I don't know where DukeDankins' points are actually. Presumably, he's bought a lot of planes because I just don't see many things here from DukeDankins. So presumably he's gonna poop out some Eagles. I don't think third gets the A10 anymore. On the red side, we got somebody opening with 2 Acacias. You really don't want to open with 2 Acacias. So basically, tube artillery requires a stationary target to hit. At the start of the game, everybody's moving. And essentially, you want your opening punch to be as strong as possible. You want as many units in mid as possible to take the zones at the start. And so if you're spending a third of your income, this is 520 out of 1500 points, so over a third of your income, and he bought a fob, so even more than a third of his income on just these tube artilleries. And if your enemy just buys ground units, he's just going to overrun you. And if he's constantly moving, you can't hit him. So occasionally it can be worth opening with an MLRS because then you can hit like you can hit them on the road. Like if they're doing an epic blob, you can hit them on the road. But usually it's worth not opening with artillery. In very rare occasions, it might be worth opening with one, or it's often worth opening with a mortar so you can smoke and stuff. But opening with the Acacia doesn't make sense because basically it's going to take you a minute before you even located a target, and by that time you'll get some more income, so then you can buy the Acacia, and all your units are still in mid fighting. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, he's open to Acacias and a fob. So, Recon Helo for the mid. Looks like Marisa Fan is on the left, so Marisa Fan's going for Charlie with lots of Motschützen, lots of T-72s, Shilka, a Cub, and a Strela. So yeah, the Shilka Cub combo is quite strong because the Cub deals 9 damage, the Shilka deals 1 damage, generally. And then on the right, I think ED.Monk is erectile dysfunction monk is really going to struggle here because for starters, he's not got amazing infantry. And yeah, like he's just brought 3 BMP3s, so if they come right down mid, sure, but otherwise, if it's infantry coming through this forest, he's really going to struggle, and he's just not got that many units because of the arty. So that's pretty rough. What Marisa fan could have done is given him a Spezial Aufklärer, put it here. Although the fact that this guy's writing here makes me think that maybe they don't know each other. But yeah, you can put a Spezial Aufklärer down here, and then that's going to slow the enemy down a lot, give the tracked units time to arrive. Oh, the Razvedka, I guess, can sort of do the same thing, but it doesn't start as far forwards. So we'll cast the game, and we will do it from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and I'd like to take the time to pause the game because I'm ill and I need another cup of hot water with lemon juice in it. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously getting their names on the screen, getting the videos early. There's the planes we spoke about. Wow, 3 ASFs. Okay. If you want your games cast at the higher tiers, you get your games cast as well at a rate of 1 a month. So if you beat a top player and you want the world to know, if you want 2,000 people roughly to know, then yeah, that's how you get that done. So the thing with ASFs, right? You got this concept of ASF escalation, right? So you're like, the enemy might expect me to heli rush, so I got to bring planes, and because he expects me to bring planes, I got to bring way more planes than him. But if you buy 3 ASFs and your enemy buys none, these aren't contributing anything. So it is high risk. So as you can see, this has basically happened uncontested. This is not a good idea, because now he's just feeding the eagles. You should not have bought that. That was really, really quite silly. But maybe if he stops the Cub, but the Cub is on fast move instead of attack move, and he's bought another plane. Although, yeah, that might have been ED.Monk actually. So that was a big mistake, because now these planes have paid for themselves. Whereas if he hadn't bought the planes, they wouldn't have paid for themselves. And having the Cub on fast move meant that it couldn't actually shoot any of those, because it wouldn't stop to shoot. So he should have just... Like, I appreciate having it on fast move at the start, because otherwise the missile, basically, it will move before the missile finishes its tracking, and the missile will do nothing. But attack move's definitely better than not shooting at all. Having said that, this Apache's 1v1 in the Shilka. I think the Shilka should win, because the Apache missed. Yeah, there it goes. So, was that on the ground? I think it was on the ground, or it might have been low altitude. So, Infinity, he did a great job of taking this, but because he blobbed all his guys here, he should have gone this building, 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 right? But instead he's blobbed them all in the middle, which means that actually Marisa fan has managed to get in the zone anyway. And so all this was for nothing. All this was for nothing, because all that matters is the points, right? So this T-72 is very dead because it is stunned and now it cannot even smoke. So the Apache's going to kill it. Tries to smoke, no time. But yeah, this was poor play from Infinity. Really should have spread these out and just taken the whole zone, and then Marisa fan would not have been able to get the CV in there. Over here, ED.Monk's actually having a great time. I thought there was more here than there was, but yeah, it was really just that engineered dragon. So it looks like erectile dysfunction Monk is going to get in and take Bravo there. Needs to move the Tor up a little bit. You see these Apaches are going to start bullying now. And these BMP-3s, they ain't cheap. They cost more than a T-55A. And they do a lot more than a T-55A. So over here, you've got the standard I can't see anything moment. Although actually, no, they're coming into view now. Cluster, oh, that's going to be juicy. Almost gets 2 BMP-3s. If it survives, it's probably not going to survive, actually. So this MiG-23 needs to go on that now. Yeah. Okay, so that was a good kill for Marisa fan, who probably has like 6 of these. 2 cards of them, presumably. They're 3 per card. We've seen 3 die now, so I'm not... So maybe only 3. So ED.Monk needs to keep advancing. There's nobody there. Yeah, he's playing with Pumachikis. And it's just, a real big shame because, for Blue Team, if you're a Blue Team fan, because they had, a fairly decent opening, but because they just blobbed all their guys here, they didn't actually secure the buildings and the zone. So, not fantastic. And now they're not getting any points for all of this sacrifice. They're not getting any points. And now they've got this problem where they're both third armoured and it's chemical. So they're going to struggle because the infantry just isn't there. Paul Machiki, Latham's really seems to like these guys. I don't. Just because the availability is low, I just don't think it's worth it. But defensively, they're really good. You put them in a house, because of the 3 machine guns, they really do stop attacks. This is going to be a good kill. Okay, I guess not. I don't watch these ahead of time, as you can tell. And yeah, these BMP 1Ps need to advance with the infantry, really. This has been kept alive, which is good. And the Akatsias are actually doing something. So that's good to see. Probably not going to hit that before it moves. And you see that the game is so mobile that they're not actually doing that much, right? Because the game hasn't settled down yet, so... It's interesting. Neither, blue hasn't put anything here, and red doesn't want to push, because if you not get AA, you get to here, and then a plane just comes, kills you, and then you've lost all that effort. But yeah, ED.Monk has taken Bravo. Blue's reliance on air and helicopters has let this happen, and now, yeah, these they better unload, otherwise they're gonna eat dirt. But these only have 501 meters range apparently. Eagles are back up, going for the Mi-24Ds. Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have bought those helicopters, basically, because you know about the Eagles because they killed all your stuff at the start. So you know they're going to come back. So you need to buy loads of AA preemptively before you buy helicopters. The Cub might get a hit here. It does not. And the Cub really needs to be moved up because, the front line's moved up. This HA Abrams is probably going to find the CV, and there's no backup on the way. Over here, Pulmachiki, they don't have the range or the pen on these rocket launchers, so they're not doing so well against just driving in Abrams. This needs to get back a bit, and okay, so now he's like, I need AT, and then he just buys 6 original pancakes. So that's a bit of a panic there. You don't really want to be doing that. I'm just surprised by the lack of MLRS from PACT. I mean, you buy the FOB for the MLRS. MLRS way more useful than Akatsias. But yeah, the CV survived, and then the BMPs are being sent, which is interesting. The Tor is on a move order, not an attack move order. Just not going to shoot. The HA Abrams is just going to one-shot that BMP-3. It's got a juicy 22 pen. BMP-3 could be put here, and then it could shoot down the road. Use that superior range there. Love to see some smoke from red team. I mean, you got the RT. But yeah, you could smoke all this, and then the tanks are not so useful because they got to drive into smoke, and then the infantry can kill them, and they can't bully the infantry that much because here, because it's got so much front armor, and these are not very good. It's just going to shrug it all off. As you can see, you really don't want this thing shooting either. Because, yeah, that's been spotted now. So the BMP-1s, they all smoked off that Abrams. I actually think the BMP-1s could win here. Because if you micro properly, you can... Yeah, see, that was a side shot. Look! Look! So there you go, the 35-point BMP-1 taking out a HA Abrams, which is like, what, 310? That's a command one. I think it's like 310. Oh, that was a good Akatsia hit. But yeah, weird to see this, which is another Akatsia, just a German one, so they call it something stupid, rather than MLRS, which is really PACT's advantage, is the RM70 and the grad systems. That 27Y gets 4 grads as of the time of recording. And he brought a FOB, so instead of these two, he should have brought the grads, really. So the Eagles, if you've got Eagles, right, you should just have one at the back constantly, and then that allows you to react faster to threats like this. That AT plane dies a tragic death to these Eagles, but you see, because they're already out, they could react faster. So it's worth keeping in mind. Just have a guy loitering. The only problem is that life's hard. What am I trying to say here? The only problem is, yeah, if you start off the facing the wrong way, that's a problem. And the other problem is, oh, will he get this? I think he lost targets in there. I don't think he could see him. The other problem is, I can't remember. I'm really quite unwell. I've just got a cold, basically, but it's making me silly. these all need to be sold. That's a lot of points there. Is that? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80. So that's 200 points just waiting. You get 200 points. That's, you know, that's almost a minute's income just sat there. So you should sell all them. L is the hotkey. And yeah, a bit of a panic buy, buying too much original pancakes there. But it's sort of working out. Although the CV died. So even though they're in the zone, yeah, the way new CVs come in. Over here, these scouts don't have AT, and neither do these. Typically, you really do want an infantry here, because vehicles can be destroyed quite quickly at close range. That has been spotted by this Razvedka, so presumably... Yep, here we go. So will he notice? Will he notice? Because that's going to die pretty quickly, because it's got corrected shot. They've got corrected shot, right? So the Eagles are coming in there, very panoramic. And yeah, it looks like the route saves him. And yeah, just once again, the helicopters, you need more AA if you're going to bring helicopters. You need, honestly, 3 Cubs. Really, the 7th player should have bought all his Cubs for the Eagles. And then just don't bring helicopters until that's sorted. That was a good kill, though. And yeah, he must have 2 cards, because we've seen so many of these, they just keep dying. They're not that great, but they are cheap and available. So, you know, Red, making progress here. This CV's about to show up. You really want to be a bit more careful there, like right here than there, because I'm not... Okay, he's noticed. He's noticed. And yeah, all these vehicles, man. All these vehicles. So, what's going on there? We need to wait for him to buy some. And yeah, more of these AT planes. Real big AT plane fan. AT plane enjoyer. And yeah, okay, so we swapped to the M1A1. 1 hit there on the front armor. And yeah, the BMP-1Ps have noticed that these guys don't have AT. But yeah, the Mott Schutzen are coming in. And that should kill that. I mean, it's low cohesion. Oh, okay. Second shot might get it. I mean, it should do, but it's Warno. Yeah, there we go. The point I was going to make about the planes, when they were circling before, is that if you don't, when you click them, you got to right-click, you got to hold shift and that right-click loads back here, because if you don't do that, they just YOLO out into the open and die. So you got to be careful there. That was the point I was trying to make. Sorry, I'm quite unwell. So the BMP-1Ps, because it's only a heat gun, the pen doesn't go up with distance, which means that when they're at close range, the only way they can do loads of damage is to side-shot these. Otherwise, they're just going to get one shot and accomplish nothing. So they all died there, which is quite sad. So has he bought any more wheeled infantry yet? Not that one. No, never mind. So basically, if auto cell is on, and this only changed a couple patches ago, but I definitely remember it changing. If auto cell is on, then what you do is you, if you right click anywhere after you've spawned the unit with it selected, so if you move it again, it will automatically turn the auto cell off. So that's probably why these are all here. He probably has auto cell on, but he right clicked them all over here to unload them. And then that turned the auto cell back off. So yeah, the origami paper mache blob's coming back in. I really don't agree with this BMP3 down mid moment. I mean, he's playing 27Y. You can get some T80 BVs in there. Looks like Marisa's gonna... Well, Marisa Fan is gonna substitute some T72s. Just really surprised that PACT haven't gone for the MLRS, because, you know, when they're in a small space like this, it's perfect for an RM70, because you know where they're gonna be. Right? They're either going to be in here, or they're going to be behind this somewhere. So, yeah, it's, this is, there we go. So they are in the deck. Over here, you know, I think Blue have just lost too much. Their units are quite, like, you know, like HA Abrams and stuff, reasonably expensive, and the Eagles, of course. Too much air, too many Eagles, not enough ground stuff. Interesting. So these guys, so this is their left, they're saying, okay, let's go in. And they're attacking. Both of them are attacking. They've got some ATGMs up, they got some Eagles up, they got the MLRS up, so they're buying the RT. And they're trying to push them out of this zone here. Move engineers. And yeah, it should work because the American engineers are 10 men, which is really strong. And Engineers Dragon are 10 men, which is really strong. Eagle goes down there, diving way too deep. I think it was going for this. And yeah, just imagine if these were grads. Also, you know, if you're going to be firing this many times, you should put a CV next to it. It makes them shoot faster. And okay, so here we see the problem. He's put it on attack move. He's hold shift and press T loads of times, right? And then that makes them attack the position. But if they run out of ammo, you see he's noticed and fixed it now. If they run out of ammo on the main gun, they're like, okay, I've got a PKT and I've got a, you know, direct fire capability. So they just YOLO in there and die. It's really sad, but it does happen. So the T-72s, once you get a lot of them, they become really quite scary. But they're very hard. They're a lot harder to micro than Abrams because you literally have to bring 2 to every fight and micro them really well because you can see that, you know, they get 2-shot in many cases. So you gotta be Johnny on the spot there. They do a lot of missing as well, and it's really annoying. So you see that, like, this one's got to smoke now, otherwise he's gonna die. But now he's stunned and now he's dead, and you see the difficulty with keeping these cheapo units alive. And they're dealing 1.5 damage per... Oh, mate, that was a toe 2 on that one. So yeah, they're more difficult to micro, because you got to keep them alive, and you see that... yeah, that's not easy to do. Really cool tank battle, though. I wonder if they'll get the CV. Okay. The advantage of these is that they're auto-loaded, which means that their rate of fire doesn't change as they lose cohesion, whereas these will change. I can hear a plane coming in. Sorry, technical issue there. So the bombers come in, and the bombers get the tank. Sorry, I had a brief technical issue there. It's basically sticky keys are enabled whenever I load a replay. That's a new bug. I did report it to them. They don't care. Because it only affects, like, casters, right? So... Anyway, so I pressed escape and it showed how many minutes were left in the game time, which obviously I'm going to edit out because I don't want to spoil it for you. So that was a good run, and, you know, I'm really surprised that Mr. Dankins here, this just keeps happening, and he's only got 1 stinger. If he had 3, these would die every time, basically. And over here, Erectile Dysfunction Monk has managed to get in the corner there. So they're on a +5, actually, because they killed that CV. And finally, the grads come in, so... I was really surprised with the way that they bought these. Like, you should buy the grads first, really. You get a lot more done with them. They're a lot more powerful at suppressing. Whereas the Akatsia's more for, like, clearing out toe positions and stuff like that. So, yeah. Red team basically won here. Over here, Blue's still got a pretty good chance. I do like this Apache. The Iglas, though, if this Igla moved up to here, probably be able to shoot it, but then that Bradley would probably kill the Igla, so swings and roundabouts. Just ED.Monk having 200 points worth of empty vehicles around is really sad. And, yeah, no infantry here, so the tanks can move in. Only a +3 now. The Apaches are waiting to take out anybody that strays too close. Engineers coming in here. They need to mix it in an AT, otherwise you can get a... You know, something like this. Well, not that. Something like a BMP-3, but they're all dead. And kill all these. They won't be able to fight back. So, some side shots here. This is why you need the infantry first, really. RPG-27 is really good. And so I believe that's what killed it. No, these are full HP. Oh, although there is supply here, so who knows. So, yeah, that's why you don't want your tanks going first. Over here, Red's doing really well. Marisa fan here, beating... Well, Infinity and Duke have both got people here. So yeah, +3 for now. The engineers will beat the Resvedka. These guys are classed as special... Oh! I'm thinking of the Spetsnaz OP. These guys are not that good at empty infantry. And especially when the Bradleys start opening up. But, oh, this isn't intelligent at all. Not sure what's going on here. Why is he doing that? Okay, he's noticed. And yeah, the grads are really useful. And if you got this much RT, you really should be buying a CV and putting it next to the RT. Because it makes it get a rank of veterancy, which makes it reload faster. RM70's coming out here. Just surprised it took 20 minutes for those to come out. So the thing is that this has less than 1 armor, so that these guys can actually shoot. It's just like a jeep, right? It's a very interesting jeep. But yeah, third's just doing standard third things, where it's been 20 minutes and now they've got 10 million Abrams. Having said that, if the original pancakes were mixed in with regular infantry, these Abrams wouldn't get anywhere. Because these guys have got some serious AP on them. And the RPG-27, so this is like, just a bit of outskill, basically. So these guys have lost targeting, so they're going to drop behind, so they're not going to kill anything. And they might die for their sins there, yeah. And they didn't get anything, so a big shame. And yeah, they lost both of them. Eagle's coming in now. The TAR's low cohesion. Oh, it's high cohesion. Okay, it's just low HP. There's 2 of them, but the TARs aren't very good, so, you know. They don't really fire properly. Basically, the way the missile works is that it... And you see all these transports are dying now. All those points. So sad. But yeah, these guys brought a lot of planes. So rockets are not going to shoot because rockets are bugged. So you see they don't really work properly because of line of sight. They just don't have line of sight. With the rockets, which is very sad, they still haven't fixed that. That's one for the complaint thing, actually. So, let's see what happens here. Okay, it looks like the... Yeah, that's weird that these can't actually see that, but this could see them. That's really odd. I'm not sure what was going on there. Or maybe they just couldn't shoot because they didn't have the necessary pen. So, RPG-27, 21 pen, 65% accuracy, blowing up his own vehicles now. Sending forwards his own vehicles. And there you go, see? So if these were sort of mixed in a bit better, what you can do is instead of having them on the forest edge where they get shot, you put them like back here. You put them back here. And then the enemy can't see them until it's too late. So blue making a big push here, but, you know, there's still +3 here, and there's a lot of T-72s here now. And now that the grads are up, I think they're really going to struggle to keep anybody in here for any length of time, unless they take a substantial part of the zone. You see the power of the grads, right? You blob up like that, you're just going to have a bad time. And people often say, well, they survived, but, you know, these are now useless for, like, the next 5 minutes, and they're also not surviving. So there you go, the power of the grads there. This... okay, what's happening? Things are happening there. Razvedka spotted the Chappie, so he's going to try and snipe the Chappie, but there's 2 more next to it, and the Stinger. So probably not going to work out. AT plane going in on those tanks, and yeah, so if Blue had built up this AA net a bit sooner, they really would have had a much easier time, because Red really like their planes. That Mulder takes out an Apache and a cluster. Wow. And then dies, so a bit of the air RNG there. Here you go. So, oh, he just doesn't have auto cell on at all. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, this is what we're talking about. Okay, he's not going for the CB, he's going for the HA. That's probably a better target, to be honest, given how low it is and how expensive it is. Like 310 points there. But yeah, that you know that the CVs are back here. Really need a bit more recon though. There's recon in here. See down the length to there. This building's obviously been destroyed, but you can still put people in the ruins. Yeah, so about the ruins, so you can't garrison it anymore, which is really dumb, but you can right-click these ruins, and they will still get the stealth and protection bonuses. Which is really annoying if you're an attacker. But most people just don't know about it. So here we go, BMP-2's back in here. Infantry somewhat behind, and so this is going to die now. Oh no, yeah, wait, what? Why are these shooting the infantry and not the CV? That's odd. Very strange, very strange. So, yeah, you know, the CVs, they just can't hang about. There's just too much going on here. You could also put, like, some Conkers teams in these buildings. Now that you've taken the zone, you want it, like, a Conkers team here would kill that, right? Yeah. Tanks also do the job. Can be worth bringing some ground-based vehicle recon, and what you do is you just click F and then click on the tank, and then your tank now has recon, because it'll just follow the tank around. So you got to click F, otherwise it doesn't fast path. But if you get close enough, it doesn't really matter too much. Like, there's not too much here, right? So the thing with the toes is that they do 312 suppression, and they're also, I think that was a side shot. Yeah, I think that was a side shot. That's interesting. Oh, it's amphibious. He's just driving it across the water. So Infinity desperately trying to... So he can see it because of the scouts, presumably, but he'll have lost visual now. So if he gets to the water's edge, he can kill it. Yeah, but he's lost targeting, right? So he needs to manually click here. And now he's going to start shooting those T-72s and that infantry. So he really just needs to right-click here. The Eagle's going too deep there. Tunguska does the work. This is a very dead BMP too. Quite rare to see people use the amphibious capability simply because amphib is so slow in this game. They literally need to double the speed of amphib, but then the historical revisionists pop out and they say, well, it's not realistic. Nothing about this game is realistic, right? So for gameplay, there's no point adding a feature if it just doesn't work. You see, this guy can't shoot because the armor of his opponent is too high, so he needs to get closer. And this is the problem with these T-72s, although this is probably quite a good map for them, actually. Because there are often many times where you can close the range, like this. But he missed. Having said that, you know, if you've got twice as many tanks, do submiss him. But yeah, that was just because they've not got good accuracy and he was moving. So as you can see, not got that good accuracy. But yeah, there's a lot of T-72s. Here we go, Conquer's M's for ED.Monk. To be honest, bro needs to get out of the habit of just buying 5 of one thing at once. I mean, he's winning, but really you don't want to be buying 5 Conquer's M's and then 5 original pancakes and then 5 tanks or whatever. You want to be mixing it up so that you've always got a combined arms force. So that rocket plane going a bit too deep there, but there is enough AA now to punish these dives. Having said that, this is out of ammo. Would have loved to have seen more Cubs, to be honest, because that's the long-range AA, and you can put 2 here, and you can help your friend out, and that'll also help you because of the range. And Blue, you know, they're just desperate to constantly put guys in here, but it just doesn't work. So at this range, you'd expect the T-72s to win, because there's 2 of them. So he really needs to right-click that tank. There we go, he got it. And yeah, the Dragon minimum range went down a lot. It's like 125 meters now, so that's something you really got to be aware of, that these Dragons can't shoot at these ranges. But if you stayed here and they come through the smoke, they wouldn't actually be able to shoot you. The Bradley autocannon is a bit of a problem, though. Having said that, it looks like it can't shoot, so this is working out. There's no reverse speed in this game, so these 2 are going, this is going backwards as fast as that's going forwards, but it's mediocre cohesion, which is slowing it down. Movement speed reduced by 10%. Okay. It's just really weird that like orange is mediocre and yellow is high, and I'm really just not sure what they were thinking there, and they just haven't changed it back. Everybody complained when they did it, but I think it's a kind of a pride thing. You know, you make something and you don't want to unmake it. I get that impression a lot with Eugen. Like, they do something and then everybody complains and they're like, well, you know, it's my game. I don't want to change it back. Or, you know, you guys always complain. Probably a lot more of that, actually. They probably just, whatever they do, they'll see at least one complaint, and so they find it hard to... I mean, this is purely conjecture. I don't actually know this. But yeah, with 22 seconds left, convincing victory for Red. Just Blue at the start, they really could have had it. It's just those air cav guys all here instead of one in each building on the front line, and then they could have just reinforced this and held this for the whole game with like toes in buildings and stuff. Red shouldn't have opened with the Acacias, should have bought the Grads before buying the Acacias. But yeah, Blue buying a few too many Eagles there. So yeah, GG, well played. Sadly, Marisa fan is player because that's bugged and they haven't fixed that yet. ED.Monk, 155 games. Infantry, 32 games. And DukeDankins, 80 games. So, although he plays ranked. So yeah, GG. Obviously, a lot of newer players in this game. Do let me know what you think. Do you like watching newer players? It obviously gives me more to talk about, right? Because they make more easily identifiable mistakes. But generally, from what I saw, I think they, man. So yeah, that was the Akatsias when the aircraft troopers were all clumped up like that. Generally, you want your infantry in front of your tank, stuff like that. It does slow you down a lot. So you do see pros break that rule a lot because they just need the speed. But yeah, GG, well played.